picking back up. It's November 18th, 2015. We were just talking about final training steps in Grandpa's aviation training, where he did his last steps in Richmond and then departed for Europe in October of 1944. And how was it, Grandpa, that they got you from the coast to the U.S., where you departed from, over to Europe?
It was in a troop carrier, I guess is good, that had been making successive trips, transporting, in this case it was replacement personnel for the 8th and 9th Air Forces in Europe.
And was it an airplane? Was it a boat?
No, it was a boat. It was that was capable of carrying, like I said, roughly I'd say 7,000 or 8,000, troops.
Like a Carnival cruise or Royal Caribbean cruise,
Not
but
quite.
a lot less luxury, a lot less nice.
Yeah, the meals weren't quite as attractive. But it was some of them were pilots and some of them were other members of the air crew, the maintenance people, and they were various. Some of them were. It was their first assignment overseas, and some of them were returning from leave of absences and that sort of thing. So,
how many people did they fit on one of these boats? How many people did they fit on your boat or one of these boats?
Fit?
Yeah. How many other?
Oh, probably.
Soldiers were they transporting over?
Maybe the total might have been around 6,000-7,000
in a single boat.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So. Like I said before, on some of the big Queen Elizabeth boat, they were capable of hauling or of transporting 15,000-20,000. Yeah.
So huge ships, and everybody was packed in real tight.
Well, yeah, some of the it's I don't mean to be. It's not humorous, but the enlisted personnel did not have anywhere near the accommodations were much different than they were for, say, officers. It's just the way it was. That's all. I don't know
what was
whether it's right or wrong.
How many people were in your room? The room that you slept in?
Oh, that's there could have been 8 or 10, something like that.
8 or 10 to a room. Bunk beds?
Yeah.
Too high?
Sometimes it seems like they would be a couple. I don't remember it in that much detail, really. And
do you remember the name of your boat?
Oh, it could have been the Mauritania.
Mauritania?
Yeah. There was a series of them.
Okay. And how long did it take to get
5 days
across the Atlantic? 5 days?
Pretty much 5 days, yeah. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where did you arrive?
We went to,
where on the shore?
We disembarked, if that's the way you want to put it, at Glasgow, Scotland.
Oh, you arrived
in England, I guess.
Okay.
It is.
Glasgow, Scotland.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so this got you over to Europe, and is Glasgow is that the first place that you were based out of, or
no,
did they move you?
No, that was just a disembarking. Just where we got off the boat.
Okay.
there was many other places in Europe at that point that received replacement troops from the States. Yeah.
So after getting off the boat in Glasgow, you probably grabbed a quick scotch.
We looked, and a lot of times there wasn't any left. It was somebody got there before us.
It had been rationed away.
Yeah, but we did. I think there was a train there to meet us, and we got on the train, and I think we went south to. But it took a couple of days. We made quicker progress on the boat than we did on the train, because other traffic was more had more priority, and same thing that was happening in the States. So, you can only jam so many trains on so many tracks and so on.
So you got off at Glasgow, and then you got right onto a train.
Yeah.
Do you recall where you were headed for, or where was the first main place you stayed for a while?
I think right at the we knew we were going to wind up in France somewhere, and it was just a matter of I think it took probably a day or two to get from Glasgow to. I'm saying it must have been somewhere in France, probably in the Paris area. Yeah. And then I think we had a delay of a few days while we could narrow at that point we were moving as a group of replacement pilots, and it was just a matter of getting the information together that they needed to come as close as they could to whatever our connections might be. And some of the pilots, we knew exactly what group and what squadron they would like to, seek out, because they were friends that had preceded them before them, and so on. Yeah. And it also depended on which groups and which squadrons and so on needed replace. Some of them didn't have room for any more, And but generally on the rotation process, about once a month, there would be enough pilots that had reached the point where they were eligible. They'd finished their tour, so to speak, and they were eligible and for it to be sent back to the States. See, and so in my case, why I did know of a particular group and squadron that I could specify, and although it was kind of hearsay through other people that in other words, I didn't know much about them other than the fact that if they had an opening, why, that might be a good place to start, and that's really the way it all evolved. Is that when we were someplace in France, in the Paris area, when we reached a point where we knew, okay, we're going to go to the 405th Fighter Group, the 509th Squadron, and then we had then it was a question of okay, where are they? You know, so the intelligence had to find out exactly where they were and how to get to them.
All right. Well, that sounds like a good place to pause, and
Okay.
we'll pick back up and learn a little bit more about your fighter group and its role and what intelligence or where intelligence found it was stationed.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.